Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a good video for you today. I'm back to a review. A review was sent to me and he wanted me to review the old 1978 Scared Straight program out of Rahway State Prison. Before I get started, please check me out on YouTube member program. Check me out on Patreon. Check us out on Discord. Check my merch out. Gangster Redemption, the book, the cigar, everything is out there. Please, if you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit that bell, and help us out in that way if you could. I'd really appreciate it. Now, I'm gonna get into this video right away. I'm gonna give you my pros and cons to this video, and you're gonna see, you know, the looks of these kids. And I'm thinking about myself in 1978, because this could have been me. In 1978, I was 17 years old. Okay, guys, let's jump right in.
These teenagers are going to prison. So now at age 15, 16, and 17, they're going behind bars. Their sentence will be short, only 3 hours. But during that time, these juvenile offenders will come into direct confrontation with these hardened criminals. They call themselves the lifers. Together, they're serving nearly 1,000 years.
Well, you know, obviously getting people who have life sentences is good, but the problem I have with this, and even the government had with this, is they did a lot of studies with this, and afterwards they found that this Scared Straight just doesn't work. You actually harden someone. If I yell at you, you're going to put up a barrier, and when you put up that barrier, you're not going to see me, you're not going to hear me. You're just gonna look somewhere else. You could be looking right at me, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. All you're thinking in your head is, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of this situation. That's all you're thinking. And that's sadly what's happening here.
Imagine yourself, the innocent victim of one of these youngsters.
How do you feel about your victims?
I don't really care. You know, whoever come, I'm gonna get them. It's a challenge. You know? Just a challenge you take.
These kids are so cocky. These fucking kids are cocky, though, I'll tell you what. I just, you know, as a guy who was in the prison system, seeing young people come to prison, they're never that cocky when they come in.
They shouldn't have been, you know, around me at that time. You know, I just felt they beat. I don't give a fuck about it. You know, that's the way I feel about it.
I'm dying to see what happens to these kids after this program, because they're gonna go, this is 20 years later. This was a 1978 Scared Straight program, and then they're gonna go to 98 and see where these kids were. I'd like to know where they are 40 years later.
Today's prisons are filled with yesterday's juvenile delinquents. Convicts who entered crime even before they entered puberty.
I don't remember how old I was when I first got in trouble. Me? Around 9. Around 6, 7.
About 3rd grade.
I am thinking if this, again, this is my era. So I'm wondering if I was like this. I don't know if I was a cocky kid like this. We had the mob around us, so we had to pay attention in that regard.
From the moment they pass through the metal detector, these young lawbreakers come face to face with the brutalities of prison.
They really want to make it real. Why don't we strip search them, let them lift their nuts and fucking bend their asshole? That's one way to do it. Obviously, the humiliation you feel during this kind of stuff is part of it.
As the teenagers go deeper and deeper inside this maximum security prison, their arrogance and smiles fade, replaced by an enveloping uncertainty ranging from tension to terror.
You know, the feeling of going into a prison, though, for the first time, I don't care. Even as a visitor, my friends didn't like it, so I can understand that. So I think this is pretty wild. I think this is a pretty good idea. I think Scared Straight was a good idea, but I think by totally yelling at them and not educating them, I think that's your problem.
Hey, that's a sweet motherfucker right there with the yellow shirt on.
Yo, you guys gonna...
You be here, you be my bitch. You know that? Sweet thing.
Looking at those guys, looking at the girls coming in. I mean, you know, they haven't seen girls in a long time, I'm sure. So this is something that they, obviously, that's real.
Inside an oppressive and noisy cell block called the Hole, prisoners locked in solitary verbally molest the young boys with homosexual taunts.
Get that one back there too. Both of y'all some pretty motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're in the hole. And obviously bringing these kids through the hole is not a bad idea either. Now, Rahway Prison is a maximum security prison in Rahway, New Jersey. And matter of fact, a friend of mine's father was in there for a long time. Charlie the Bug Workman, who actually killed Dutch Schultz, the whole mobster. Chuck Work was a good friend of mine. He wrote a book. He was a golf pro, but he was a mob guy's son. But anyway, passed away a few years ago, Chuck. And that's what I remember in Raw Way. It's in his book, too.
I kick ass, you know, and if I get my ass beat, don't mean the shit, because, hey, I'm coming back, you know? That's the kind of person I am, you know? I consider myself a tough guy. That's what I consider myself.
What a cocky fucking kid that is, huh? Jesus. And who's the first person they run to? The mommies and daddies.
And I'm going to security school to learn all about burglar alarms and things like that. That way I know when I come out on the streets, I can disconnect the alarms and take what I want. In my future, I think I'll be a professional thief.
You know, as bad as this kid sounds, at least he's got a plan. The other kids sound like fucking morons. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
When a man's up here talking to you, I want your eyes on him at all times. That means if that man catch you looking at that wall.
A little different here, if you notice, they have actually street clothes. I mean, some of these guys have street clothes on. I guess they did that back then. I don't remember that, obviously. And but it's kind of weird, you know, for me to look at that. I mean, that's just a status symbol. They don't do that. Not in any prison I was at. I mean, you'd have it for like county jail or something like that, but not like normal.
Keep trying me, man. Get up, motherfucker. You think you're... Get out of here. Get up off that fucking bench. Get out of here, nigga.
You know, kids like this, this is how I handle bullies. This is not really how I handle these guys. Because I think once you get them so over the top of, they're not hearing the message. The messages are good. They're not hearing the message itself. All they're hearing is the screaming and yelling, and they're thinking, oh man, can he hit me? Would he hit me? I don't know. And I think that's what the problem becomes with Scared Straight. There's no educational value. I mean, listen, I understand with intimidation. I understand with shock value. I get that. But it's hard for me to understand how it's going to go for the long haul. Even the government has learned that over years.
So you slip up behind him, you pull your shank, and you stick him. How much time you think the court's going to give you for killing that man? That's right. They're going to give you life. Not that they care about that guy you killed, or they care about you, but that's the way the system works.
That is true. You kill someone in the joint, they're gonna give you life. And that's why I've been lucky in my life. I stabbed 2 people, and I've been stabbed twice. And luckily nothing ever happened. I mean, talk about luck.
You move one more goddamn time and I'll bite your fucking nose off and spit it in your damn face. You understand that?
See, now it's just one after the other after the other. I don't know how effective that is. And this, at the end of this, is gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be a pretty good video.
See, you don't be thinking about the consequences that you're gonna suffer if you get caught. See, because you can't get away forever.
You know, this is where these guys were talking about, oh, you think these are people's shit, and you take, they all did it. So, I mean, I don't get that one. That's talk about hypocritical. Now, I'm not saying they didn't change, and they needed to change. I say the same thing, but they're still there. I mean, obviously, I don't want anybody to continue doing with the stupid shit they are. But it's kind of like, I don't know what's going to go on next. I don't know how they pick these lifers either.
Take off your take them motherfucking shoes off. Give me them shoes. Oh, everybody take them off. What the hell is wrong with you? You think I'm playing with you?
Yeah, they're getting over the top, obviously. This can happen. Obviously, it's a little bit different in how it does go down, but it's something that obviously needs to be addressed.
Y'all, man, is too young to come to anybody's prison. Because I don't want to see none of y'all falling in this bullshit that I'm in. I'm only 26 years old. It stops right here. My life stops here. This is it. So I'm saying, you got to listen. Is that understood? I've been here 7 years and regret every fucking day I've been here.
He's speaking the best so far, and he's relating to them. He's 26. He's young. He went in at 19. They're only a few years away from 19, and he's got murder, life plus 12. So, you know, this is hopefully he doesn't start screaming. The old prison, though, that you're seeing now, right now, is what I was in, Atlanta. Atlanta's like these are old prisons. So those are the kind of things that are just bringing back memories for me. You see the tiers? Now, these tiers up here, they have screens. You see guys get thrown off them. And that's the tiers that are going up to different units.
We located all the convicts and juveniles shown in Scared Straight. They're now adults, and their lives have gone in many unexpected directions. The boy who hurt people is now a man who helps people. Terrence is 37, married with 2 young sons, and loads baggage for an airline.
You know, well, amazing how people grow up. I mean, that's just growing up. He went in the Navy, did a lot of things, you know. I love to see change, so I'm proud of him. I hope it stayed that way.
The only person who can make the change for you is you. Who do you really want to be, and how far are you willing to search inside of you to become the best you want to be?
It's just something about the goodness of Jesus that...
Go from one crime to another crime, no. At least he's on the right path. It seems that way.
Ron is 38 and lives with his wife and 9-year-old daughter. He served 8 years in the Navy and now works the night shift as a mechanic at a dairy.
It does show you that people do, you know, whatever bad they do, and a lot of them, whether they did this from Scared Straight or not, they're gonna change. You know, you do change.
Ken had been married just 3 years when in 1995, he died of an AIDS-related illness. He was 34 years old.
Wow, that's a pretty wild one. He died. AIDS was big back then, and he died of an AIDS-related, probably shooting dope or whatever it is. It's a shame, but some people it helps, some people it don't. But obviously, this video is showing a lot of good.
Malik's 2 older sons are both in prison. Jamal is serving 22 years at Rahway for aggravated manslaughter. Ironically, he is now part of the Lifers group. This is the first time a father and son have both participated in the program.
I feel real bad about my 2 sons.
You see, this is Jamal. I think they're learning over the years to talk and educate these guys in that different way. I hope they have. You know, I wanted to show this video because obviously I didn't know what happened to these guys. I don't know. I do know the government will not support this program because of the numbers over the long haul are not that good. That's why you don't see it as it is now. Also, I'm happy to see people change, you know, no matter what. And if I could help people change, I always try to do that. No matter what I do, I try to help people change. So with that, I'm happy about the Scared Straight program in this regard. I've done a lot of studies on the Scared Straight program, and maybe they're just showing this as the movie. But you know, there is good and bad in everything. And I'm glad to see some of these people change. I really am. Whatever it takes for a person to change. Me, I don't know if that would have changed because I was in the streets with the gangsters as it is. These guys, you know, it's a shame. Some of them are what they call they can't break that cycle. And it seems like this family here. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed me checking out an old, that's my era stuff. And I know you guys might not relate as much, but it's about people and it's about choices and about change. Listen, my whole goal in everything I do is to hope that you don't make the bad choices that I made and go down that path, because it's not worth it. Have a good day. Just think about the choices you're making every day. Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.